In Texas. All right, we'll check that out in a bit. Listen, let me ask all of y'all a question for real. Serious question. All right. Let's say, let's say someone went to your crib. Maybe you own a car. Let's say somebody walked up to your car, carved their name in it, walked away. Or let's say somebody went to the burial plot of your family members, graffiti, spray painted, whatever they wanted to, all over your loved ones' headstones, or whatever, whatever. Let's just say that if you're not from the states, for instance, let's say, well, actually, let's say you're from the states. All right, I know there's a lot of people that watch in a lot of different places, but let's say that they went to something like the Lincoln Memorial or any national monument and just carve their name or a statement into those things that mean a lot to Americans. Let's say that you're in France and I don't know, they spray painted the Eiffel Tower, took a torch, drew a design into that motherfucker. Let's say you're from Spain. They go to Museo Nacional del Prado and they decide to spray paint the outside of that building or go inside. Same thing with the Louvre, the Guggenheim, etch their name into every artwork there. Let's say that those things were to happen. Again, those all seem extreme, but take it all the way back down to the personal thing I said. They go to your car, carve their name into it, or just spray paint their name on your car. How would you feel? Would you be upset? Would it fucking disgust you? Would it be a thing that you'd want to like get into a boxing match over? I probably have to say yes. And that is just an example on a minor scale to me and to a greater number of people as well as to what happened here. Now, first off, let me ask y'all if y'all have ever seen this video right here. If you remember it, if you have seen it, I want you to see this video before I get into that other stuff. All right? This right here. This is absolutely insane to me. This young woman, you all might not have seen this video or you have. It was quite some time ago that it actually happened. But this Chilean influencer decided to come here to Japan and go onto one of the shrine gates and do pull ups. Now, let me explain something to y'all. That is super disrespectful. And oh my mama, I don't know, bro. If I were there, I probably would have yanked her down by her ankles on everything. I'm not joking about this. Then, just recently, this is just recently, two Americans decided that they were going to go ahead and climb into Punch the Monkey's fucking habitat at the zoo. They went to the zoo, climbed into the habitat, and decided to start filming it. They got arrested and claimed it. Oh, we didn't know that it was that big of a deal. Listen, y'all, and I know I'm starting to get upset, but trust me, there's a reason I'm really starting to get upset about these things. Ignorance. You are absolutely correct. The ignorance is astounding. But how about this shit right here? Listen, I cannot express how foul this is, all right? I need y'all to understand. This I pulled up this article, it came through, and again, I can't pull it up on here specifically because of the lockout of information. In fact, I think it's a little bit more than that because the servers here and even the internet, it's set up somewhere else. So there's certain articles I can't pull up. But let me explain to you exactly what this is right here. First, I want y'all to just watch as this is happening. All right. I think you get the idea before I even say what it is. Chat. Does anyone think they know? Now I love Punch the Monkey, but that is stupid. Yes, yes, that is stupid. Listen, listen. On my mama. On my mama. Yo, can't. I can't. I'd have kicked that nigga right off of that railing. This is disgusting. And now let me break it down for you. I couldn't pull up the video or the article I wanted to, but this gives a little bit of a breakdown of it. Viral video footage of tourists carving names and dates into bamboo stalks at Kyoto's Fushimi Inari Taisha has sparked international outrage because bamboo cannot heal from scars. Over 100 damaged stalks were cut down to protect the grove. The incident follows similar widespread vandalism in Arashiyama. Let me explain something. They had to cut them down to protect the groves. This is a one bad apple can rot the entire bunch situation. If you don't know about bamboo, bamboo is completely different than normal trees. And because of the interconnected system of that grove, which has been sacred for over 1,000 years, all right, over 1,000 years, it potentially could kill off every one of those bamboo that are there. The incident video showed visitors using sharp objects and stones to carve initials, symbols, and dates directly into the green stalks. The environmental impact. I'm like lightweight upset. So damaged bamboo cannot regenerate. The resulting scars lead to rot and high risk of plant collapse, forcing local officials to remove the defaced trees. Not just plant collapse, but actual like just terror on all the rest of the bamboo that are actually there. The public reaction, Japanese outlets such as Sakta the JP, and that article I can't pull up. That was one of the articles I received right there. And social media users have heavily criticized the destruction of sacred and cultural sites for personal memories. Fushimi Inari Taisha and local landowners are urging visitors to show respect with the shrine warning that it may take formal legal or police action against vandals. And I think they should 100%. Let's see. This one says the same thing. But oh, yeah, 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 yeah. If this is one of the things that was actually carved into it, nah, my boy. But I think that this is actually somebody just putting that there, saying "f you" to the guy who actually carved their name. Oh no, it was Tina. So yeah, "f you" Tony might actually be carved on one of them. This is absolutely outlandish, disgusting, and ridiculous. Ridiculous. Tina and Brendan, them some super American names. Y'all can sis. You you scratched sis into it. Listen, listen, listen. Let me tell y'all how big of a deal this actually is. All right, those places are extremely sacred, and one of the things that people have said online, this was frustrating and infuriating. They had the nerve to say it's not that big a deal. What? Yes, actually believe in those things to hold them sacred? Are you just what was the word he used? God, the word literally just jumped out of my brain. Superstitious. I don't give a damn if it's superstition or not. It is sacred land. Those trees are sacred. The idea of spirits living in harmony with nature is huge here. It has been a part of this history for as long as this history has been. It has been a part of the culture. It, it is very, very important to me for so many different reasons. That place is very important to the people there. It is important to this entire country, to all of the people of this country. Now, listen, 95, 98, 90, I want to say 99% of the time people come here and they have their head screwed on correctly. They understand they're going to a different place. They want to enrich themselves on a culture that's outside of their own culture. They want to learn new things. They want to like experience things, so on and so forth. And as tourists, they act accordingly. But then you get that 1%, and that 1% is just not just annoying, but they're doing things that are actually causing detriment to other foreigners that live here. I'm gonna get into that in a second. He said, "Oh my mama, oh my like fruit, yo, bamboo is like cows in India, unforgivable. It truly is, but it's not even just the bamboo itself. It is the meaning of that place, the respect that is given to the heritage of that place. Like it's insane. And of course, the bamboo like, have a lot to do with it because of that intermingling into the Shinto culture. When I went to up north, Aomori and like that whole northern area, the beauty of that place, the forestry, the bamboo, like every like it reminded me of every single like thing you can envision as far as an epic fight happening in a bamboo village or bambooed area in anime or movies, TV, whatever. When you see those types of scenes, that place, it is it. I mean, bamboo for miles in untouched panda fight. That too. Yes, yes. That is what that area is like. And it is so beautiful. And right next to it, the water, like amazing. In fact, I have, like I said, I have video and everything. And the opening to the series I'm doing actually uses some of that footage because that is where a lot of the farmland and everything else, it's just a beautiful area. You have to understand how respected areas like that are. And so when I made the comparison I was making earlier to things that are personally yours, to things that are national monuments, that's like literally going that's like going to the Statue of Liberty in America and literally carving some bullshit into it. That's what that is. Only there's a longer heritage to the bamboo that they were carving into. There's a spiritual element to it beyond the cultural element that there is. And how do you think by any means that hey, this is normal? If you want to do that shit and it's normal, do it in your own fucking country. You can't even get away with that in national parks in most countries. You can do it at the tree in your crib, maybe some little city park or whatever. In my mind, if you're going to travel to a country, learn about the culture in the region, to have that understanding, and then you gain the respect of the residents, the place that you that and the citizens. Yes, but here's the thing about that. Look, I always say don't go anywhere and let people walk all over you, treat you like like you're a fool or whatever. But having respect for other individuals is paramount, especially when you're going to their country. You wouldn't want. eh, How is it? How is it? Americans, the individuals who have such a problem with others now, even visiting. their country? How is it that they dare go to someone else's country here in Japan, where you know the heritage and the culture if you're coming here? How do you go and carve your fucking names into bamboo in a sacred place? How do you go hop into the monkey enclosure for a monkey that already has very, very high fear issues? Like, I don't know if you guys know the whole story of Punch the Monkey. It's sad and it's very cute as to how he acts now and how he carries around his own little monkey bear, the little stuffed monkey with him, and the reasons why he does it. To jump into the habitat and cause all kind of just ruckus for your shitty TikTok, bruh. Like, I'm serious. Like, there's certain things where where I'm always like, people just need to be punched in the head a couple of times. These instances are those, because it is downright despicable to me. It's like, how do you not have common sense at all? And what this leads into, he said justice for Punch. What this leads into is a bigger problem. And here's that problem right here. And this will be the last thing that I talk about as far as these serious issues right now. I wish I could adopt him, be my friend for life. That's one of those things. Not that monkey. He needs a lot of attention. He really does. He needs a lot of like trained attention. And what really is sad is the inability of him to be accepted by his peers there. There's a couple of them that are warming up to him or whatever, but on the greater whole, he's kind of treated like shit. And it's because of his own internal issues, whatever. Like, it just is. It is what it is. Hit take. Animals are better than humans. Listen, I can't agree with that 100%. We are essentially on a level the same. Humans are nothing more than a different breed of animals. But that's a debate we can get into at another point in time. But here's what this whole idiotic system of these individuals coming and making clowns of themselves, disrespecting the culture and disrespecting the individuals here in Japan. This is how it's playing out now. And this right here, this is sad. This is fucking sad. Steep capital requirement hike for Japan's foreign business owners sparks backlash. Now, you guys might ask, how does this matter to what I've been talking about? It does. See, one of the big things about Japan is that Twitter, the cesspool of the internet, is one of the most heavily used fucking social media platforms here. And what's sad about that is when information and things of that nature, such as the punch incident, such as the incident of individuals carving their names into bamboo at holy sites and everything else, that's where it spreads. And what you have to realize is that these idiotic groups, these idiotic, you know, uh, uh, um, parties of government that have sprouted up, like Sanseto, which I've spoken about before, and their disgusting traits, those groups spawn because of, first off, first and foremost, envying the corruption that is happening all over the US. Nextly, thinking that these bullshit images and bullshit articles and bullshit movies and things like that are what true foreigners look like, especially American foreigners. And thirdly, well, they, of course, spread their bullshit and information heavily on Twitter. I would pay to know certain people's thought process. Hey, yo, listen, listen. I can tell you what it is. All it is clout. A greater deal of it is clout by those individuals doing those things. But because of that spread on Twitter and everything else, And because of the current state of government here, this is what's happened. I can break this down shortly, but I really want to go over this and explain how bad this really is. Steep capital requirement hikes for Japan's foreign business owners sparks backlash. Tokyo post protesting the Japanese government's tighter requirements for the business manager residency status for foreign entrepreneurs are spreading on social media. X, Twitch, Twitter. This is something good that's spreading on there to combat the negative that's spreading on there. It's also going all over other like SNS type systems here in Japan that are only used here. Message boards, so on and so forth. The sharpest criticism is aimed at a rule change last October that raised the requirement capital from at least 5 million yen, approximately $31,400, to at least 30 million yen, about 188,300, to prevent fraudulent use of the status. The same requirement applies in principle not only to new applications but also to renewals. Now, let me explain why this is a problem. Like, this is absolutely crazy to me. That is a six-time increase. 6x increase. What's good with you, Teflon boy? We've been going for a minute. Have you been here the whole time? But that's a 6x increase. And it's not only steep, but ridiculous. It's a BS increase. But the reason that the increase happened is because of all of these little trickle down incidents. You've got foreigners coming and acting absolute fucking fools, and it's not just American foreigners; it's foreigners from a lot of different places. The girl that was on the torii gates was in some legal. Okay, okay, on the torii gates, she was from Chile, but a lot of it does happen from individuals from the states. The arguments that end up happening in shops and different things like that have gone viral all over. But then you got European and Germany, so like it's all foreigners. But this increase is because of the group Sanseto and because of the ideals of Takeichi, the current PM. She is a mess. She is an absolute mess. I can go in depth on that, but I won't. But let's just say this. How do you increase by sixfold and require that the current visa holders who've been in business for years have to match that requirement every time they go for their renewal? First off, most Japanese people don't have 100 racks to put into a business. And these businesses are coming from individuals from all over the place, and they are actually good, upstanding businesses, some of which you may have only been in business for the last year, but those that have been in business for over 30 fucking years. And then you implement this at a point in time where the logistics of everything is crazy and prices are hiked up and so on and so forth because your government, you as the new prime minister are chasing after American ideals that you cannot keep up with. You don't have the same type of economy. You don't have the same prestige when it comes to the American dollar. You don't have to. All of this can functionally work. But here's the thing, I even want to open a restaurant. But because I still have my citizenship from both other countries, I would have to run that 133 racks. Nigga, I ain't got that. Like, let's keep it a stack. I ain't got that. The only way I could get away with doing it, and it wouldn't even cost me the 31 racks. I could start eating. Listen, let me explain something to y'all. There are businesses that you could technically start with zero, well, not $0, unless you already got the equipment. But let's just say on the low end, you could start a business for like 5 racks, 5,000 US dollars, maybe even less. Well, at one point, a few years ago, before the price of computer components and electronics hiked up out of the fucking stratosphere, you could start up with 5 racks or less. I'm not joking at all. It can be done. But Here, it's an instant requirement that it's 5 million yen or 31,000, or it was the instant requirement of 5 million yen, which I'm even like, that's fair. To pull up 31 racks, 32 racks, yeah, now, mm. That is a feasible number. $133,000, 30 million yen, not so feasible. So now what they're doing is causing these individuals who've been working here, who've had businesses going for years, for decades even, they're forcing them out. It's insane. And it's all because of the actions of dumbass tourists, that 1% they come here and fuck up, and because of groups like Sanseto and everything else, and then the mind state of the current PM. But let's go back to this article real quick. So, where we stop off, oh, but also renewal. So, I plan to keep running my curry shop and living in Japan forever, said Atikari, a 47-year-old Nepali man. So, he's from Nepal, who runs Satkar, an Indian restaurant with around 20 seats, about an 8-minute walk from Tokyo Metro. So, in the capital, oh, in the capital's Koto ward. So, that's in Koto, his voice shaking as he spoke. Many of his customers are Japanese. People, oh, God damn it. Popular menu items include tomato-based chicken curry with spices and naan. Which, let me tell y'all something right now. Listen, I'm not a huge curry person, but there's certain ones, when done right, ooh, wait, they are delicious. And this one right here, the tomato-based chicken curry, yo, oh my, like that shit is, mm, mm, uh, Arikari moved to Japan in 2008, so he's been here since 2008 after working at another curry shop for about 5 years. He trained at another shop. He established his company in 2013 with 5 million yen in capital and opened his current restaurant, which he ran with his family members and part-time workers. Until now, he has met visa requirements without problems, but he says clearing the new capital requirement will be difficult. Ingredient costs have gone up, exactly, and it's hard to save that kind of money. I think people who abuse the visa system need to face stricter rules, but isn't it wrong to make it harder for everyone across the board to renew their visas? He claimed. Listen, I agree with him 1000%. If you abuse that rule in a business, it's easy to actually find out. It is so easy to figure out. The government can figure that out. It's fucking simple. It's simple, but they don't want to do it. It's too much work. But to increase the amount sixfold, bring no new business, no new small business here, which is a heartbeat of this country, considering the tax revenue that they make off of it. But you want to keep these large businesses here who are shitting all over your country, using all of its resources and making everything more expensive for the people who live and work here. The reason why the prices are so high as far as real estate, especially in Tokyo, has nothing to do with these small businesses. It's large companies that they're allowing to come in to suck up all the resources the same way they do in the States, suck up all of the properties, all of the lands. Blackstone, one of those groups. I mean, come on now. You all know about them. But they sucking up all of these resources in the land and everything else, the properties, and making all the prices go sky high, and it's pissing the people off. It really is. It's disgusting, the prices for an apartment here in Tokyo. I'm not joking. I'm not joking at all. Somehow, some way, and I don't even know. I'm like, maybe I'm about to give the medal right now. Somehow, some way, you can actually find decent prices in Shinjuku, which is right next door to here in Okubo. Okubo, good too, but space for price, fuck up out of here. Fuck up out of here. I know where to get good pricing here, like as well as throughout most of Japan, and a lot of times. You might not even want to be on the mainland. You might want to jump off to one of the other islands. But there's still good pricing in other areas. But this, he said, cough, fast food places cough. Hey, listen, dynamic pricing. I wanted to talk about that during the whole AI thing too. Dynamic pricing is absolutely ridiculous. Ridiculous. That's AI's fault. And that's where you guys are getting so many hiked up prices even in fast food. Who the I think Wendy's was doing that in the States. I don't know if they're still doing it at this point, but if they are still using dynamic pricing in Wendy's in America, where you can go in at any time of day and the fucking burger be 50 cents higher or so because of whatever the AI is telling it, y'all need to stop going to eat that bullshit. I'm not joking. Anyway, back to what we were talking about. Uh, he said Indian and Nepali restaurants run by acquaintances from his hometown are facing similar worries. Makes sense. To support restaurants like Adhikari's, social media users have been posting criticism of the stricter rules using hashtag that translates as supporting my favorite ethnic restaurants forever. The hashtag was started by writer Taro Surugashima, who lives in Surugashima, Saitama Prefecture. I was like, wait a minute, that's an actual area. So he's from that area. That says something about his family right there. He said he was prompted to act after the owner of an Indian restaurant he knows told him, at this rate, we won't be able to keep the restaurant open. He's also leading an online petition titled "Please Stop the 30 Million Yen Capital Rule that is crushing curry shops," while saying, "We do not oppose appropriate screening to prevent abuse of the system." The petition calls for changes, arguing if authorities can simply confirm the actual state of each business, which I'm telling you right now, they can, then cutting them off with a uniform 30 million yen standard is far too tough. This is, listen, this is so dumb. You want businesses to come in. You want businesses to come up with new recipes and new ideas and new foods because this culture, food is a backbone of this culture. When you all see the opening to the Eating Japan series that I'm working on right now, I'm telling you, when you that is one of the things I literally said in the opening. Kyoto would not be what it is without refining all of the things that came from Osaka. And a huge part of that is the food. I said that while I was there doing the live stream. Food, yo, I can't even. But to hurt these small businesses, but it's not just restaurants that are feeling this. There are tons of other small businesses. This just focuses on, and it focuses on it so prevalently because a lot of the people that are getting shat on are restaurant owners. On May 13th, he led a gathering in the House of Councilors and submitted more than 53,000 signatures to officials from the Immigration Service Agency of Japan. At the event, an Indian man said tearfully, "If they suddenly tell us to go home, what are we supposed to do? Please help." Listen, this is one of those situations where a lot of these people, this has been their home almost their entire lives. What are they going home to? What is home? It's insane. Why did the government tighten the capital requirements for the business manager residency status? Behind the move is criticism that wealthy foreigners are setting up paper companies to fraudulently obtain. Listen, listen, and I hate doing this yet again, but biggest, one of the biggest groups that are doing this are Americans. 100% true. They are abusing the shit out of that system. Now, then again, they can also go with the Chinese aspect of it as well. But then a lot of the time, the Chinese just come here and they buy up, you know, a ton of property and everything else, just the same as the Americans do. And there's a simple way to actually stop that from happening. I've explained it before, and if I need to say it again, it's very simple. You put a cap on the amount of property that any foreigner can come and purchase here, especially more than anything when it comes to these quote unquote, what do they call them? I don't even know, but let's just say these residential or commercial property purchasing companies. You put a cap on it. It's very simple, but it's even simpler to find out if these companies are doing legitimate business here or not. In fact, oh wait, finding survey registration for small offices. Oh, we're concentrated in the same building, and there was no one coming or going, leading it to determine that no real business existed. Now, the problem with this right here is that it's highly possible that there is a business, but they are running it from somewhere else or from home or whatever, which does break the rules. Because one of the rules is if you are running a business here, it is supposed to be run here, and you should have at least one employee that is a native of said area. An agency official said, "We will give a certain degree of consideration to companies that are operating stably." That's a lie. That is a lie. We make a comprehensive judgment based on their management situation and their efforts to meet the new standards, which again is a lie. But the official also said that because decisions are made through individual screening, it is difficult to present a clear, easy to understand hurdle applicants must clear. Many small shops still appear unable to shake their concerns. According to the survey by Tokyo Shoko Research Limited in March and April, among foreign owners, 5% of the 299 companies that responded said they were considering closing down. Most of them are. Atsushi Kondo, a professor at Meiji University, who is familiar with the issue, noted that South Korea's residency status system has two levels, about 30 million yen and 10 million yen, approximately 62,000, separating trade, a key industry, from other businesses. He proposed that rather than uniformly raising the capital requirement to 30,000 yen, authorities could set different standards based on actual business conditions, yada, yada, yada. And here's why I said these things right here that the official said was a lie. The reason it's a lie is because it has been very well noted, annotated, taken in by individuals who have had their businesses closed through other forms of media on the news and in other articles that I've been reading and watching throughout the day, while I'm working. These people are being told immediately, no matter what, you don't meet the requirements. Pack up, you got 2 weeks. Get out. Insane. Insane. Not 30 days, not 60 days, not even a 90-day stay. No, 2 weeks, get out. The officials lied about that. Listen, I've always said Japanese have the tendency to tell untruths. Let's just put it that way. They don't want to make themselves look harsh, so on and so forth. There's always this losing face sort of mentality in the mind. And the truth of it is, they are hurting individuals. They are hurting themselves. And they're doing it for the stupidest of fucking reasons. But more than anything, with these 1% of foreigners, you have to understand this country is so small that these individuals who come and do these stupid things here, hanging on the torii gates, carving their names into sacred bamboo on sacred land, jumping into the pit of Punch the Monkey to record a viral video, so on and so forth. All of these things play into the minds of these individuals, and it spreads like wildfire, and it's blown out of proportion by more, like, well, not even, I mean, I'm not even gonna say it's blown out of proportion, but an outrage is created much quicker and more prevalently than in most other larger countries. And it comes down to hurting. individuals, which in turn, I'm not kidding, it will end up hurting the Japanese economy. They're going to see that happen, but everybody's going to question, oh my God, why? I don't understand how this could be. I don't understand it. And there's your answer right there. But please, you guys feel free to let me know what your thoughts are. He said, I haven't been to Wendy's in months. No, see, here, First Kitchen is it's the business. It is the business. I've talked about that place before. Fucking, yo, that place is the business. But yeah, you guys let me know your thoughts about it. And I just, it's just a sad thing to see. But anyway, what were the game recommendations y'all were talking about on